Hey guys, it's Rich with your Monday Spot on the Pagan Perspective. This week, our topic comes from our very own Yucca, who asks, how did we, or how do we, um, decide what holidays to celebrate? So, Cody, you okay over there? He's playing with his toy. It's very cute. So damn cute. Um, so, mainly for me, this is going to be a quick video because I don't have much to say on this topic. For me, holidays nowadays depend on who I'm celebrating with and, if I have time off work. I work mostly about 6 days a week right now. So, yeah, I don't always get time off. And, I just started a new job. So, yeah, the I have my full-time job, I have the antique store, I have other things that I'm working on that I'm trying to get together to do for YouTube videos and for crystalpaganism.com, and some stuff to put up on Etsy and some stuff to put on eBay. And yeah, I have 300 irons in the fire, and they all have to come out at the same time. So yeah, I don't always have a lot of time to slow down, and that's pretty much a prioritizing thing on my part. That is a fault on me, that I don't prioritize certain things like that, and I understand that. I'm willing to admit that. But for me to take that time out to celebrate, to have the time set aside to be with other people in a setting that is celebrating one thing or another, for me anymore, it has to be okay. It has to be scheduled in advance. I have to know at least a month in advance. I have to be able to get the time off work. I have to be able to not have the store open on that day, or at least have coverage at the store on that day. I have to, just basically clear my entire schedule. So this is stuff that I have to plan a month in advance. And if it's something like work, I'm going to take the hours because right now I needs the money. So unfortunately, that the green-eyed monster gets the best of me at that time, and I do try to put in as many hours as I can working so I can pay bills, and get caught up on some past bills that haven't been getting paid because of not having enough money at the time. So that's something that really plays a huge factor in my practice right now, unfortunately, is that I have to pick a couple things out here or there that if I do celebrate a Sabbath or an Esbat, it's going to be it's going to be a very quick sit down, meditate for a little bit, just kind of be in that moment. I just heard probably a couple weeks ago that a moment is actually a length of time. It is, I believe, 90 seconds. So I give myself that 90 seconds of time to be in that place of gratitude, or to be in that place of communion with deity. And unfortunately, I don't get to have a lot of time to be in that place. And again, that's a lot of a prioritizing issue. A lot of times, whenever I do commune with deity anymore, a lot of it is either in the shower, on the ride to work, on the ride back from work. Thankfully, at my current job, I'm a relief manager, which means I go from property to property to relieve the resident managers that are actually the people that have that property under their belt. So I go from property to property, but usually a storage unit facility is not that jumping and busy where I have 1,000 things going on at once. So that does afford me a little bit of the time during work that I can sit down and I can read a little. Or what I've been doing lately is I take some crocheting with me and I do some crocheting, or I've done some knitting. I currently am doing some studying that I want to do for YouTube videos. So I take those things along with me. I put them in my backpack, and whenever a customer comes in, I put it all away or put it under the desk or something like that. And I help the customer, and then whenever they're done, I go about what I was doing previously. So thankfully, that affords me a little bit of time during the day, but it doesn't afford me the time to do ritual or anything like that. So my practice has had to evolve and kind of mold into a way that kind of suits my current lifestyle. And hopefully one day it will go back to the way it was, where I can actually have a full-blown ritual every Sabbath, every Esbat, and be able to do it, at home. Because I don't really have that time right now, especially whenever most weekdays I'm pulling a 10-hour day, and then on top of that I have driving times. So I don't always get the time at home to be able to do that stuff. Hopefully in the future that will change, whether it's that I don't have to work as much doing one thing or another, or I find a better way to manage my time, or I have a process set in place, since I just started there in August. So September, October, November. So yeah, I've just completed 3 months there. So I'm still in the stage of trying to get everything set up in my life, so things kind of run autonomously, that I have a scheduled thing that I do either every day or per day of the week. And so that's basically where I sit on the... I'm sorry, I've got to change hands here. My arm's getting tired. I don't have a selfie stick because I can't find it. I have a whole box of 50 of those stinking things. I have no clue where they went. Yeah, that's basically the way that I choose what holidays I celebrate. And in the past, I chose to celebrate every single holiday that came along. I think that each holiday has something little to take away from it. I don't really like Christmas anymore, and that's not anything to do with the religious aspect. It's more to do with my birthday is on December 25th, and I really kind of hate that everybody says happy birthday as an afterthought. I really hate that. So I moved Christmas to January 7th, as the Greek Orthodox Christmas is. My family from Syria, we're all Greek Orthodox, and many of them still are. So I just chose to go ahead and change that day. So yeah, I've adapted some of the calendar to my own liking. And let's see, Easter, I don't really celebrate Easter because I don't have anybody really to celebrate it with. Maybe things like that will change now that I have a boyfriend, but it's not really something that's huge on my priority list, just because Easter doesn't do much for me. Let's see. I think it's a wonderful time of the year. It's a wonderful aspect to celebrate. I think looking back on the changing of the seasons with Easter and and looking at things such as, from a religious perspective, the death of Christ, the resurrection of Christ, stuff like that. I think that is very moving and it's very beautiful. Christmas, you have the time whenever people all seem to come together and congregate, and they have such a joyous way about them. Let's see, Thanksgiving, you have things to be thankful for, even though I hate the history of it. So, yeah. Let's see, what other major holiday am I leaving out? Labor Day. I don't really do Labor Day. There's not really much to do on Labor Day except, see fireworks, go to a fair or whatever. Not really my thing anymore. So, yeah. Some holidays I think I've just kind of grown out of enjoying, because Labor Day as a kid, you go to the fair, you ride all the rides, all that stuff. Not really a thing anymore for me. Easter, you would go and find all the Easter eggs, all that stuff, and not really a thing anymore for me. But I think looking at the holidays as they are, and the holidays within the pagan traditions, looking at those holidays, I think there's still something to take away from it, and something that will enrich your life by looking at it a little bit further. So I don't discount, or I won't say that I will not celebrate any holidays. I'm just saying that I don't celebrate them as much anymore. And, whenever I finally get the time and the schedule down pat of how I am going to do things, then maybe I will find the time, and I will make the time, and it will kind of more or less cohesively come to fruition the way that I would like it to. So that's basically my ramble for the week. It took a little longer than I expected, so maybe I will edit this down a little bit. So anyway, until next time, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye-bye.